Om Shanti. So the decoration of the Brahmin clan from all over the world, the sparkling diamonds, victorious jewels, successful stars. So a very warm welcome to each of you for this insightful, inspiring, special session on the topic dealing with difficult situations. I'm sure we all go through different challenges in life, and Baba helps us at many different times, but how to really go through these difficult times, we have today with us a very special soul, Sister Antonilla. So shall we all welcome her? Sister Antonilla. Sister Antonilla is spiritually born in Japan. 34 years ago she came into this knowledge. Currently she is serving as a center coordinator in Bologna as well as in North Italy. She is the instrument for opening more than 3 centers, and she also works, her Laukik job is in teaching communication. She had written 3 books, many CDs and commentaries in Italian language. And today we have her with all of us. So welcome you all. Welcome Sister Antonilla to this wonderful workshop on dealing with difficult situations.
Thank you. So welcome. Very nice to be with all of you this morning. With a big topic. The workshop will only last a couple of hours, though it's a huge topic to explore. People in the world, I have to record. So people in the world find life difficult. And we know as Brahmins that Baba wish his children not to find any difficulties, to be carefree, to be obstacle-free, eventually karmatit. And yet, in this journey from Shudra to deities, which is a big journey, we find a lot of issues, challenges, obstacles, difficulties. To be realistic, even though a balance is very important, and it's a balance of being realistic in one side and going beyond on the other side, going above the reality. Like in Europe, we are facing a war, not in a direct way, but is a continent which is very close. So to remain above and to be realistic at the same time. And I remember the first time I met Gentiben, that surely all of you knows. I don't know how many of you are new. But the first time I met Gentiben, I never saw her before. I was pretty new in Gyan. She sat to meditate in front of us in a small room. I was in Rome at that time. And she went into trance. Nowadays, many of the trance messengers, they don't go in trance anymore. By that time, she used to go in trance. And I didn't know she went into trance, so she closed her eyes and flew. And I thought, I was told to meditate with open eyes. Why is she closing her eyes? I didn't know that she went into trance. But the vibration was very powerful. It was one of my first meditation, with the senior. Actually, probably the first. And when she came back, she brought a very powerful message that I still remember. A part of it, of course, after 34 years. And the line that I do remember is, if you think that obstacles, are coming between now and then, between you and the obstacle or the issue, many things can happen. So many things can come in between. But no, victory is here and now. Is not far off. Victory is now. Otherwise, many things can come in between. And I remember listening to those words and thinking, right, I have to decide now what I'm going to be. Like very determined thoughts that whatever will happen, I'm firm in my choice. And victory is here now means we are victorious soul in spite of whatever difficulties we might face. In the world, they have Maya as companion. For people, normal people, Maya is their companion. For us, is our enemy. So, of course, we are going to see and face and witness many difficulties. The end itself. But Baba is equipping us. We are the only one really equipped to face the end, like nobody else. So, difficulties can come, challenges, whatever might happen, and yet the consciousness I'm a victorious soul here and now is what will keep me going through any difficulties. Do you agree that if you think and keep this higher consciousness of I'm a victorious soul, then nothing really can break us? They might shake, as Baba said, the boat can shake, but it will not sink. And I think it's a good foundation for this life. And of course, difficulties are very personal. Like for me, to lift 40 kilos is a difficult thing. I can only lift 15, probably comfortable. But 40 kilos is too much for me. But for a big brother, to lift 50 kilos, 40 kilos is nothing. So difficulties is something very personal, very subjective. For some person which is very introvert, maybe churning can be easier than for somebody who is very extrovert. So it depends of our personality. Anyway, there are different fields where we can encounter difficulties. And we will use the screen so you can see very well. So there are 4 main fields where difficulties can occur. Of course, mental means I'm not able to grasp something, to understand, to concentrate. For example, concentration is so important. And we know that in the world, mental sicknesses are increasing. That means depression, for example. So many people get depressed, even BKs. So something with managing our mind can be an issue for some. Or health problems. It can happen that from time to time we have some little karma to settle, to all of us. And wealth. Right now in the country I live, there is an incredible increase of bills for energies. And so it has become for many people a worry. How will I pay the bills? They are going to increase, we don't know how much, for how long, how can I manage that? It is an issue, because that's a practical thing for a daily life. And the last, but probably the first, is relationship. You know, when we do some kind of different workshop in which we divide people according to the field that they feel more challenged. The first 3 have a little amount of people, but relationship is a huge group. So it's interesting that statistically speaking, relationship is the main complicated, complex field. Does it happen also in Vietnam? You are the biggest group. The relationships are not the easiest field. Sanskara, whatever. So that's why I want to ask, as this is a workshop actually, a little question for you, just to share in pair for a few minutes, not much. Why do we find so many challenges in relationships? You know, we like to encounter each other, to be with each other, we live with each other, we have a huge family. And in Madhuban, this becomes very obvious. We have an incredible family. So why are relationships so complicated and also provoking so many, upheavals? Unless you are free from this, most of the people I know, they are not so free, myself included. So can you just take a few moments to share with the person next to you, why do we find so many challenges in relationships? Just a couple of minutes. So what did you come up with? Just few feedback. Do we have a mic? Supriya, do we have a mic for people to say something? So what's the thought? Just few feedback.
Yes, I think the most challenges in the relationship is the expectation. Okay, so the expectation is impact to any relationships. That is the most, and let me share for the others as well. Okay, so my friends, this is about the ego. Yes, and another one it is about sexual. Yes, three of these things.
Good, thank you. Evil means all the negative vices, like.
For me, it's difference of opinion. This also can be conflicts in relationship.
Different of opinions and?
Yeah, that is the main one.
Okay.
We have different styles of communication, and means that, and so we want to understand each other, but so we use different ways to communicate, and sometimes it's easy to misunderstand, and so that it's not always willingly that we come into challenges or into conflict.
Sure. Actually, I think communication is a big thing. Sometimes so many misunderstandings just because we speak different languages.
So what I'd like to share is, so I think everybody's been through their own journey. The soul goes through their own journey and they take this body. And so there are some who are neurotypical and some who are neuroatypical. So like, for example, if a person has different mental health conditions like ADHD or autistic spectrum disorder, they are how they are, but we expect them to behave how we are. So I think that creates disharmony and acidic relations. So I think, so if you have any tips about communicating with neuroatypical personalities, it would be very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Communicating with difficult personalities or toxic people. It's a program all itself. But can be considered. Yeah.
Yes. In my opinion, this is the wrong identify, because when I have wrong identify in myself, I make the conflict with inside myself. And when we have wrong identify inner spirit, inner soul, and this also the conflict inside the soul, but I don't realize. And then when we connect or go in the relationship with others, we will bring the wrong identify to with others and make the conflict in the relationship in the real life. Because the relationship in the physical life with me is also the mirror for look at inner myself. This is my opinion. Thanks.
Yeah. People are mirror to us, for sure. Sometimes it's good to check the self and see, because we might encounter the same difficulties with different people, but the issue that is part of us pop up from time to time, unless we solve it within ourselves. So it's like a situation provoke us to change, as we know. Actually, that's the only meaning of what we encounter in this life, this last life, that we are meant to just transform the self. So everything is conspiring. I like the word conspiring, because everything in life, people, situation, problem, whatever, they are conspiring for us to change. In a way, they are collaborating, maybe in the way that we don't like, for some karmic reason maybe. But eventually, the quicker I understand that I have to turn inwards. And I think one of the tools that Baba gives us is churning. So learning to explore the self through Gyan with Baba. So through Gyan in yoga. Then the quicker I do this, the quicker I come out of situation. Actually, I remember one experience of mine. Many years ago, I used to live with a sister in the center, and we were getting along, I can say, at all. So that was a reality. And I was very young in Gyan, extremely young. And that was an issue for me, emotionally speaking. It was really intense. So after a moment of, let's say, confrontation, I was emotionally very in upheaval. So I was going from the room, the kind of office, to the kitchen, and passing through Baba's room, in front of Baba's room. And I felt the pull to go into Baba's room and sit. That was better than going for cooking, really. So I sat, and I was complaining to Baba. Did you ever complain to Baba, like, throwing out whatever you are feeling about something? And then I felt Baba was pulling the soul into another dimension and cleaning everything. And I felt 10 minutes were gone, 15 minutes maybe, so I thought, okay, now I feel okay, I'm going for cooking, but 2 hours and a half were gone. No feeling of time, and from being in a state of emotional upheaval into a state of absolute calmness. And that wasn't my ability at all. It was really Baba cleansing, cleaning the heart. And that was a very important lesson for me, that unless I take Baba with me in this journey, on a consistent way, we are not Maya's companion anymore, we are God's companion now. So to really live it, it will make our life much easier. And sanskara-wise, within people, we are at the end of the cycle, so many stuff from the past, so many traumas maybe, so many issues between each other. How do I want to face all of that? On a human level, it's not really possible. Too much, at least I understood for me. It was too much. But with Baba, as he was saying in the Murli this morning, he can make the impossible possible. Anyway, let's go on. We have an extra area, in fact, apart from mental health, wealth, relationship. Another area that we have is yoga. Many people say that they find difficult to meditate. I don't know in your country, but when we give the course, so many people stop saying, oh, meditation is so hard. Yoga is so difficult. I guess it did happen to you also. So, and I like this understanding on farishta. Fa means without. Rishta, Baba was talking about farishta also in the Murli. Relationship, bondage. So an angel is somebody without a bondage in relationship. That means he's free, which is our incredible aim, to be free. Free, having settled our old baggage. Free, not really being affected by situation around us. And the aim of connecting with Baba is to really become an angel. Somebody is free from everything. It's such a beautiful destination that we got. I took this extract of a class from Sudeshtiti that says godly love empowers the soul to break all bondages, to overcome difficulties and to conquer challenges. If I can just dive in God's love and really feel it all day long. So, there are few virtues. I think every single virtue is every single power, every single virtue is helping us to overcome difficulties. So, as many virtue we can inculcate, as many powers we can practice, the more we become strong, empowered, and therefore we can face everything now, the end, soon maybe. But I've taken 4 qualities for this workshop, which I felt they were probably important. One is responsibility. I'm responsible of how much I practice out of what Baba tells me every day. And I had these thoughts, how would I feel to go in front of Baba the 3rd, the day after tomorrow? We are going to Shantivan for the meeting with Baba. Video anyway. I feel we are meeting Baba because usually the experience is that. How would I feel to be there, the 3rd, in Shantivan, in front of the Murli that we will listen to, and say to Baba, I've done my job. You know, Baba gave us an exercise to practice. Do you remember? The 12th of October, last Murli, Baba gave us an exercise. Did you practice? I didn't fully, but I can imagine how would you feel to be in front of Baba and say, I've done it. It would be such an incredible satisfaction. Baba told us to take and give blessings all the time. Just that. And I think if I can make it to just take and give blessings, even somebody attacking me, for example, it doesn't happen here. Here everybody are angels, but somewhere back at home maybe it does happen. If I can take that as a blessing because it provoked me to change, to see where I'm probably not right. So how would you feel to go in front of Baba and say, I've done my job. It's a responsibility, which as children, we take it lightly. You know, Baba loves us anyway. He's an incredible father, an incredible mother. So Baba embraced the soul anyway. He's so accommodating, so patient, so everything is God. But how would I feel? And I remember Daddy Janki so intense in efforts. So she would go in front of Baba in my feeling and say, I've done what I was supposed to do. So am I willing to have this kind of encounter with Baba, saying, I've done my job? Just a reflection. But it's part of a way of being truly responsible in a mature way. And the responsibility to keep giving. Because when I'm busy giving, I'm not busy taking. And before we thought about what is creating challenges in relationship, there is one verb that does that job, creating difficulties, and that's taking. When I expect, I'm taking. Whenever, if you check it deeply, taking is the worst verb for us. Taking, of course, in a limited way. But giving solves many things and create good karma, as we know. And many problems in relationship or with the body or with situation are due to our karma. So giving, giving, giving is just the best tool, the best strategy, I would say. And I made this picture for a reason, because I'm going to tell you a story. Maybe you heard it already. I don't know where I collect stories, but I like them very much, so I just stock them in my memory. And it's a story of a lady that was in a family of philanthropists, so they were accustomed to give charity, to share, generous people. And then she got married to a family where they were exactly the opposite, very miserly, very, greedy. And she was feeling quite uncomfortable not to be able to share and give like she was used to in her own family. And one day they had a wonderful table like this one with a lot of good food, and they were having lunch. But Delhi situation was the window open, and outside there was a beggar asking for food. And then she went to the balcony and she bent outside the balcony saying to the beggar, I'm so sorry, I cannot give you anything. We are just having leftover. And the father-in-law heard her saying, we are just eating leftover, when the food on the table was amazing. So the father-in-law asked the sister, the daughter-in-law, what are you talking about? Is not good enough, this food? And she said, well, this is the leftover of whatever you good had done yesterday. But tomorrow we will not have anything to eat if today we are not creating good karma. So we are going to end up eating leftover, because that's what will remain for us if today we are not sowing good seeds. And that was our understanding. So today I might have a lot of things and be proud of that, and maybe become also a bit attached to what we have. But if I forget to share it, to give it as much as I can, and the feeling or the habit, the sanskara of taking and stocking is very strong. Because for many birds, we have been living in fear. Fear not to have enough. Fear that something that we have can finish. So, but we don't have that fear now. I've been witnesses in many, many occasions that the more we give, the more comes back. Even on a little, mundane things on a daily basis. So keep giving and keep giving is an incredible strategy. Of course, it does require a deep understanding of karma. But karma is one of our main lessons. And we have many examples of people so able to give, like the daddies. No, we all met the daddies, at least some of them. And what was their main approach to life? Giving. Of course, Baba. Of course, Brahma Baba, Mama. But the daddies. And so this is a responsibility towards myself and my own story that will ensure not just 21 births, but the entire cycle. The responsibility to serve, it's another responsibility. Again, of course, Daddy Janki is there. Those who keep busy easily become conquerors of Maya. If you don't do service, how could you become a good flower? So I think service is in our blood, and the more we serve, the more we are good, well occupied. In whatever way, serving is not just teaching. It can be just being present, just being welcoming. It can be in thousands of ways, but it's a state of mind. Like I'm available for Baba to do what is needed. I'm here. Everyone in his own way or place, but the feeling to serve should be strong. And the second quality is to be a detached observer. They are not very detached, these kids. But I look at what is happening. A detached observer looks what is happening, understanding through the lens of Gyan, our deep wisdom, and that understanding allows the quality that is necessary to emerge. Otherwise, how do I discern what do I need right then to respond to their difficulties? In the country I come from, people are very impulsive. They react very quickly. Very, impulsivity is called. So they just shout back in a second. It's a cultural habit. But that means they use their worst, and then they feel bad about it, and maybe with some guilty feelings. While detaching implies that I observe, why am I feeling in that way? Why am I reacting in that way? And these allow myself to access that well of resources that is within the soul for me to respond using the best of me rather than the worst of me. And I guess it's a practice to just wait. When Baba says, put the pears in your mouth before talking. So just a little bit of patience, which is not the easiest quality, patient. So when we are detached, it's like the qualities have the space to emerge. Like detachment will provide the space and the frame of time for them to pop up and say, do you need me? You need patience, you need tolerance. Actually, tolerance is one of the quality. They are necessary. And I like this quote very much. It's not the difficult circumstances that will pass, because maybe the difficult colleague or a member of the family or whatever, maybe they will not go away. They will stay exactly where they are. So it's not the difficult circumstances that will pass, but I'm gone beyond. I pass through that and exit on the other side. And I think this is the definition of tolerance that I like the most. Because sometimes we try to change external things, even though we know it doesn't work. Still we do that. Trying, like, this place doesn't work, I move away. This person is no good. Can I make it move away? But it won't work at the end, because one person goes, another worse come. Did you have this experience that it doesn't work? And so the situation might not change, but I can go through that, bypassing the problem, leaving it behind. It's an incredible sense of victory. If you can change anger into tolerance, then it won't burn like a fire. Anger is really burning, but it will burn your old karma. So if I can switch from anger to tolerance, I will burn my karma. That's why understanding that whatever happens is bound to happen to me, and is affecting me because it's an issue that I have to deal with. Either because it's my old karma, or because it's a lesson I'm bound to learn. So let me choose to burn my old karma rather than burn myself and then take a lot of time to recover, and a lot of time to recover the relationship. How long do you keep in your mind some offense? Some people say, 20 years ago, that person told me this. So for 20 years, they kept that feeling inside, in a way burning. From time to time, it will come up as a bad feeling rather than a good wish. So this is an exercise that I can practice while in Madhuban, such a wonderful opportunity for tapasya. Sitting in meditation is so easy, just easy to fly. And why don't use this time for building such a strength inside the self, where I burn my old karma and tolerate with a clean heart. implies a deep acceptance of diversity. And there is a little story on this. There is a story of 5 men willing to go from one place to a village, and there was a forest to cross. So they start their, journey, but halfway through they got lost. They were 5 friends, but different people, different approach. Somebody before said, diversity is a challenge, and we are all very different. So these 5 men, one said, well, my instinct tells me to go left. I will go left, and I will reach the village. The second man said, no, I will go right. I have, a good sense of direction. I will go right. And he went. The third person said, you know what? I'm not going to waste my time. I go back. Safer. The fourth person said, why not straight? I go straight. It might be quicker. And the fifth person said, I climb a tree, and from the tree I will see where the village is, and then I will go in that direction. So 5 options. Of course, the one that climbed the tree saw the village and arrived first. He was the quicker one. Sorry. But all the other 4 arrived at the village, and they shared their experience. The one that went left, he encountered some wolves, but he got the courage to face them. And he loved wolves, but he was scared. But he faced them, so he arrived to the village very satisfied. He had the courage to face wolves. So he was happy. The second one that went right, he met a farm with wonderful people. He stayed there for a couple of days, enjoying the farming life. And then he arrived to the village, and he was very glad. The one that went back, he encountered another group of people walking into the same direction, so he made new friends. The one that went straight forward, he enjoyed the beautiful nature and rivers. He enjoyed nature, and he arrived. So 5 different people taking different approach. The one that came first, he was very I was the best. I was the best. I was very clever. I climbed a tree, I saw the village, I was the cleverest of all. But it wouldn't fit the other 4. So even though I'm quick in understanding, I'm quick in doing things and getting them done, doesn't mean I enjoy life. Everybody's different. The person that arrived last, he was very happy. So we cannot really judge anyone either for their choices or for their pace. In certain culture, people are very quick. In other culture, people are very slow. Just different culture. So how do I deal with the different type of people? Deep acceptance of diversity. But that also implies a deep acceptance of the self. And the acceptance of the self goes through another relationship, which we never consider it as a relationship. And it's a relationship with my own mistakes. It's a relationship. How do I deal with myself when I do wrong, when I do mistake? How do I treat myself? I'm very judgmental, or I'm very understanding. Do I check why have I done that mistake, or I feel guilty? Actually, the last time I was in Madhuban, we did a workshop on dealing with guilty feelings. I don't know if somebody of you were there. As feeling guilty, a very strong feeling in Western countries, more than Oriental countries, I guess. But what's the relationship with my own mistakes? Do I have a loving approach or a condemning, to condemn the self? Because that will replicate towards people. And so again, it's a reflection. And the last virtues, before we go into a group sharing, it's faith in Dharma. The most difficult faith. Faith in Baba, very easy. Faith in the self, so-so. Lucky if you have somebody around you believing in you, so improve your faith and trust in yourself. But the faith in Dharma, it's the most challenging one probably. But faith leads to trust. And there is a hidden message in every event. Every scene in drama carries a message that is fundamental for my growth. Do I see it? Do I interpret it? Do I catch it? Or I blame drama? Or I blame people within that drama? And I like to connect faith with trust, because it's on a daily basis we are bound, or we are meant to trust each other. If we don't trust each other, it's hell, especially if you live with people you don't trust, or if you are in a context where you don't trust fully. And you wonder why Einstein is on the screen, probably. It's because of a story. And Einstein was going to a conference. He had to give a talk in a university. And the driver was, of course, his own driver. And the driver saw that Einstein was very tired. So he was talking to keep him awake. And he said, you know, I know everything you say by memory, because I listened to you every talk for years. Einstein said, really? You know everything I say completely? And he said, yes, even commas. And so Einstein said, you know, I'm so tired. You give the talk, because they don't know me. They never saw me, so they don't know. You give the talk and I rest. Just give me this gift. The driver said, okay, if you trust me, I will. So in the hall of the university, the driver was up front giving the talk. And Einstein was at the very back, chilling out, you know, very relaxed, really enjoying. And then eventually, the talk finished, wonderfully, well done. But a student raised a hand for a question. And the question was complicated for the driver. And so the driver said, but this question is so easy, even my driver can reply. So he was clever, but he was clever because he was confident. And he was confident because he was trusted. So there is an immense power, a strength in being trusted. So, a question for the self, am I willing to trust people in order to be trusted? Because it works in that way. As much as I trust, as much I will be trusted. As again, is an aspect of karma. So, a point of check-in. Am I willing to trust even people that might not seem to be capable? I have this criteria that I like very much, that to trust that every Brahmin, every child of Baba that comes is potentially a teacher. So he has to give the course. Everyone, no one exception. Because nothing is as a moment of growth as teaching, sharing Gyan. So even mothers that are usually not educated, they can teach so well through their vibration, through their drishti. I remember in Milan, I stayed there for some time, and I was giving the course and to few women, and one husband used to come to pick up his wife, and there was one mother with me, and that she would wait for the husband or people to give a toli at the end. So this man would come and just take drishti and toli. And you know what? He became a Brahmin. And none of the course, they all, enjoy and then left. He became a Brahmin. He didn't do the course. He took a toli and drishti. So she was doing her part. And that's the magic of Baba. Anyway, no, there is another virtue to explore, which is an intellect embedded with Gyan. Is my response to life Gyan-based, or is it based on all sanskaras? So everything that happened, that I might say, oh, this is too much for me, is it my old sanskara speaking, relating, or is Gyan based? Because we are equipped with some extra information. Since when are you in Gyan? Or since when is Gyan in you? Because unless I churn, Gyan is just an information. Churning, which is something that very dear to me, just bring Gyan into your blood. So since when are you in Gyan, or since when Gyan is in you? That makes a difference in my response to life. And that's why the exercise that we are going to do is about churning something. Bring Gyan into your blood in order to apply at the right moment. Absorbing Gyan. Sunday Murli was talking about this absorbing Gyan. Is the base to become your own checker and not the checkers of others. If I don't bring Gyan deeply in myself, I will be always checking people. They are right, they are not. Look at what they do. I will end up doing what Baba was saying not to do today, that gossiping, or feeling challenged by them. So the practice, this is an exercise. The practice of absorbing, churning is very important. And this is an exercise that we are going to do now, which is something that we practice one evening in Panda Bhavan. Years ago, we were sitting, this informal meeting with Brother Krishna from the dining hall. We were just chatting in a little class kind. And he gave us this exercise to practice that I wanted to share because maybe you want to have the opportunity to listen through him. And this exercise is to go from, this is the 84 births. And you tell yourself, visualizing a kind of a circle like this, if you imagine the cycle of life, every birth, it's a line, like more or less this image. So you visualize, the circles of every life, and you tell yourself 84, 83, 82, 81, 80, 79, you go backwards until you feel blocked. And it does happen that eventually, while you do 79, 78, 77, there is something that blocks you. For different people, different numbers. And that means in that life, something happened that is stuck in our subconscious. So if you repeat, and then when you got blocked, you just send good wishes to that life of yours. The best wishes, loving feeling, just embracing the soul in that energy. And you will feel unblocked and carry on until the first birth. Do you want to try? Okay, so we take a few moments, and each one on his own, of course, because it's your cycle, your lives. So you do mentally in silence. I will take a few minutes. Okay. I will leave you practicing this later on in your meditation. It will entertain you. And I don't know if you noticed that after some number you got blocked. Did it happen? Did it happen to you? Yeah? Can you raise the hand if it did happen? And so it's a good way, good tool to give yourself blessings. So we go back to the idea of fulfilling what Babas gave us as an exercise. Give yourself blessings. And to people, of course. So, the title of self-respect, it's a wonderful way of churning, experiencing, becoming, exploring. Spin the cycle of self-realization, being Swadershan Chakradhari. I just took this example, but you will get other titles in your little group exercise. So we are at the 84th page. We have 83 pages of our story, our book. So that's why we are what we are at the end of the cycle, you know? So that's why it's important to be understanding, kind in a way with the self, accepting the self as we were saying before. You have 83 chapters of intense life. And spinning the cycle implies to become self-checker, really willing to change and go back to the beginning, just a jump. Can I see the wider picture? Everybody does what he did in the previous cycle. So why do I expect people to be different if they will never become something else? They will only become what they were in the previous cycle. It's a point that comes every Murli, more or less. So why do I expect them to be what they will never be? So that's the point of acceptance. And if I understand and spin the cycle, that's probably what I will realize. That's why the practice and exploring the titles, I find it very fascinating. And you will be receiving a title now, shortly. But if you don't mind to sit in group of 4, and within each group of 4, you will get one title. And I will do a little commentary to set the tone of the exploration of the title, and then we will go through those questions within the group. And you will have the chance to talk about the title, read the extract of the Murli, which is indicated in the title, and explore it in the way of your experience, looking at the other with the vision of the title, churning it, talking about being in the energy of the title. Is it okay? You will be in group of 4. I guess that's enough. Okay, if you want to, I know the Harmony Hall is not the best setting for a workshop, but it's the beautiful hall, and we are here. So just find a way to be together, language-wise also. You are meant to have one title. Good. And if I can have some music, brother? a little bit of music. Thank you. Okay, for the Vietnamese group, I don't know what kind of paper you've got, but you are meant to have one title, each group. And that title will be your exploration. I don't know if you got the entire page of titles, maybe, but just choose one. And those who got the slip of paper in English, it will be one. Okay. Everybody's got a paper? You do? Everybody has a paper? Okay, so I will guide you a little bit with some music. So whatever title you have, just keep it in your mind and remember that that's one of the title that you are. So try to feel it and to evoke what does create as a feeling in yourself. What does this title means to me? What does this title means to me? A title is a dharana-based consciousness that means includes virtues, powers. What virtues does include? Or power? What dharana does it hold? While visualizing being the embodiment of this title, what do I detect about myself? Do I feel attracted or not? Do I believe it or not? And now I look at the people within my group with the vision of them being that title. Look around at the people in your group and look at them, seeing them with the vision of the title. Do I see a rose or an angel or a server? Look at them with that vision, because it's what they are. And now you have 20 minutes to explore the title between yourself. Explore it, journey it, speak about it, understand it. What do you feel about it? Okay.
मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है। अपने सुकर्मों के बल पर ही सतयुग में तुमको आना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो। ये संगम का स्वर्णिम युग है। शिव पिता फिर से आया है।
ब्रह्मामुख से शिव बाबा ने वही गीता ज्ञान सुनाया है।
कलयुग का अंत अब आया है। विकराल विनाश खड़ा आगे।
अब हम सबका शिव पिता ने बतलाया है।
शिव पिता को अब याद करो। पांडव शिव शक्ति सेना की रणभेरी अब फिर बजती है।
शिव बाबा के ज्ञान से फिर माया को मार भगाना है।
शिव पिता को अब याद करो। सतयुग में तुमको आना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो। मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है। अपने सुकर्मों के बल पर ही सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है। सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है।
धाम में तुम्हें गाना है।
La terza domanda qual è? Cosa vuoi dire?
Che cosa comprendo di me mentre mi visualizzo, tipo te un mentre ti visualizzi nel percorso spensierato, cosa capisci di te? Cosa puoi identificare di te stesso? Cosa si rivela? Magari che hai una natura Okay. You ready? I think talking about the titles, it's a wonderful conversation. So we are nearly at the end of the morning. And it will be nice to hear your feedback about what you shared, if you had some kind of realization or inspiration to practice something more, or general feedback, whatever you like to share. It will be nice to hear from you. And there is a mic down here if you want to come in front. Very much welcome. Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, Pandabavan bus is shortly.
Okay, what did we share? We shared about hello, Jos from Holland, two sisters from England, one from Italy, one from Holland, and so the title Carefree Emperor actually took a little bit of time to match with the title of Carefree Emperor, to adopt. Am I an emperor? What's an emperor? And so actually, it's not an easy thing. And then Rafa says, actually, oh, it's very easy. Actually, I'm a carefree emperor, and my life is very simple. And I said, I can do that. And that was actually very, very light. And then I gave just the essence of, okay, we come from England, we come from Holland, Rafa comes from Italy. It's just a different place in the world. And my observation, I'm in Italy for 6 months now, and I've seen just general different attitudes. Just short. Where I come from, we tend to be very serious, and very serious. Take everything very seriously. Life is suffering. Life is really, it's heavy.
Jos was a policeman, huh? So.
And when you come in Italy, life is light. Somehow, okay, there might be problems, of course, but it's just the first impression, how you manage, how you deal with life, how you live life. It's just the place where we come from. This is how far we got.
Thank you. Good, somebody else, even this big group of Vietnamese, which is wonderful. Some of you will speak English, right? Can you say your name?
My name is Phương. Phương. Yeah.
Full.
Phương.
Full.
Phương.
That's a good name.
Thank you so much for the beautiful presentation. And our group, we choose the title Spiritual Roses. And when we share and discuss about this title, we feel we are very beautiful. Beautiful in terms of spreading all of the qualities that Baba has given and the powers. There are a few things that come to our mind, or maybe we say virtues based, you say a title, a dana-based consciousness. So first is to accept the diversities of different roses in Baba's family. And second, we spread the beauty for everyone, including powers and virtues. And third, we are roses. By definition, we are not influenced by anything else outside. Like roses, you can place roses wherever. It can be a very beautiful place, or even in a holy place, or even at the funeral. But roses still roses. People can make different comments about roses, but roses still be roses, not influenced by anyone else. So by that, we feel that we are, we have values, we are specials, because each rose have a specialty of maybe services, or maybe being very sweet, or maybe different things. But roses have special values, and we appreciate roses, other roses, and we are stable, not influenced by anyone, and we are giving, not accepting, and by that we are not influenced by anything outside. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Full. Beautiful. The rose is always the nicest flower. Who else? Somebody else? Sharing? That's all? So another couple of people will be good. Bit of courage. You were talking, right? Okay, come. And speak slowly.
Hello, sister. Hello, Swiss family. And our team chose the topic of world service. And there are lots of aspects. That's just one aspect I want to share here. And in order to become a world service, we need to together and unity. Like we are on the stick in the fire, and any stick will put in the fire and make the fire is bigger. And when we are together, and the fire will stronger, and then we'll change the Iron Age to the Golden Age. And no matter you are the big stick or the small stick or the middle stick, but we are together. And when everybody burn, they also give the temperature is higher. And this means this will make me warmer and I can burn is better. And so like Baba is always hurt how the world. And so I also learned the way to hurt all the people come into the fire. Like every stick that put, no matter who you are, just come here and put one hand in the fire to transform the world. And this is my discussion. And thanks for listening.
Thank you. What's your name, brother?
My name is Tuấn.
Huh?
Tuấn. You can call me One Indian name my again is Yes.
That's easier. Thank you. Very much in tune with the topic of this season, the power of our togetherness. Okay, one last sharing, and then we close with a moment of meditation. Okay, some.
So my name's Samantha, and we had the title Victorious Jewel. I just want to read the first line because I really felt this was a title for all of us. And it says, do not see wrong as wrong. Do not think this one is wrong anyway, but think about how you can put right what is wrong. So it felt as if a victorious jewel really upholds the purity, the truth, and that really is a sign of victory. And we were also sharing in our group that many of us have gone through so many things. We are victorious jewels. We forget what we have gone through. And so just to hold this awareness in presently that we are already victorious. We're all here. So that's a definite sign that we have victory. And sometimes we don't recognize the smallest of things. So one sister in our group, Shada, was sharing that when somebody gets angry with her, she's just quiet. And she said, is that a good thing? Yeah. And there's no fear, she's not nervous, just she's quiet. So sometimes we need to reflect and think about the victories that we've already had. I think there are many. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Definitely agree with that. Okay, one last slide from Bapdadas. You are number wise in being full. And the main reason is a lack of the power of churning. Do not become number wise, become number one. So an invitation to 21 days effort of practicing whatever you feel is good for you to practice, starting in Madhuban. In my experience, whatever begins in Madhuban is really a powerful, determined thought, whether it is connected with self-progress or service. Whatever we begin in Madhuban has an incredible impact. And the last, nothing is tough. We make it tough, thinking it is tough. Make it easy by thinking it's easy. So it's just a matter of our mindset and position. Any difficulties can become easy, just thinking it as easy. And as Samantha was saying, as a victorious jewel. Okay, I hope it was useful. And we just finish here with a moment of meditation. And within these few minutes of meditation, I can recall what I've learned this morning, what touches me, what I can practice more, beginning with one thought, that victory is not far off. Victory is here and now. In my thought, in my feeling, in my awareness. I become aware of who I am and the gifts that Papa has given me as an eternal, powerful soul. And I keep this awareness that becomes my treasure, that will lead me through any difficulties. Carrying my fortune with me. keeping Baba very close, and the family, experiencing the power of togetherness. Om Shanti.